3 years ago, we met at the same square. 3 years ago, 175,000 of you came out to vote for a partnership for national unity and the right for change. Are you enough, you know? 175,000. 3 years ago, we beat the PPP. But today, we still have them on our backs. They're a minority, but they're biting like bug. 3 years ago, we promised to give you a good life. We promised to lower the cost of living. We promised to remove the value-added tax. But what we get now? We get chikungunya. We get dengue. And we have prorogation. Today, comrades, we have a big problem. And the problem named Ramadan. Ramadan never accepted his minority. Ramadan never gave up trying to control the National Assembly. Ramadan never accepted the budget cuts. Ramadan never accepted that he has to give you all local government elections. But right now, Ramadan is under big test. Are you been to school? You know what the test is? But let me tell you about something named the duck test. D-U-C-K. You know what is a duck test? If you got a yard and you see a bird walking in the yard, if it look like a duck, if it swim like a duck, if it quack like a duck, and if it walk like a duck, it's a duck. Tonight, we have a duck on our hands. Tonight, we have a situation. If it talk like a dictatorship, if it walk like a dictatorship, if it squawk like a dictatorship, if it stalk like a dictatorship, it's a dictatorship we have here. Comrades, we have to apply the duck test to President Donald Ramadan. Because Donald Ramadan is behaving like a dictator. He looks like a dictator, he walks like a dictator, and he talks like a dictator. And when I listened to him last week, Tuesday night, the 4th of November, he sounded like a dictator. When I listened to him on the 10th of November, he sounded like a dictator. So he must be a dictator. Comrades, President Ramadan doesn't talk like a Democrat. For 3 years, he has not reached out to the 175,000 people who voted for APM. President Ramadan doesn't walk like a Democrat. He doesn't walk among you. He doesn't walk in your communities. He doesn't understand how you're suffering. He doesn't understand the cost that people have to pay when they cross that Bobby's Bridge. They don't understand the cost of living when you have to pay. Young people don't have jobs in this country. These are the problems with Donald Ramadan. He's living up there in Pradoville. He's living up there in the State House. He's living up there with the big shots. He doesn't understand how the small shots are suffering. Comrades, we have to look carefully at this dark situation that is facing us. The PPP has a plan for you. And it's a dark plan. The PPP prorogued the parliament because it is part of the dark plan. They want to duck the debate on the no confidence motion. They want to duck local government elections. They want to duck the debate on financial squandermania. They want to duck sanctions against Anil and Ashley. They want to duck accountability. They want to duck responsibility. Don't let them get away with this ducking plan. Too much ducking going on. national problem. Look at the platform tonight. We look like brothers and sisters. Yes, we are brothers and sisters because we are Guyanese. This is not a Georgetown problem. We have brothers here from Surama and Rupununi from Anai. This is not an African problem. It's not an Indian problem. It's not an Armenian problem. It's not a Chinese or Portuguese problem. It's a Guyanese problem, comrades. This is not a problem for you here who have gathered tonight to listen to the APNU and the AFC. This is not a working class problem. This is not a Chama problem. It's not a Shatri problem. It is a problem for all of us. The PPP has tried to establish a dictatorship over this country. They have fought for 3 years to prevent every good measure that we brought before you. We have tried to get them to discuss gastroenteritis that is killing how many children in the Rupununi. They refuse to have an inquiry into it. We tried to get them to discuss trafficking in person of young girls. They refuse to have an inquiry into it. We've tried to get them to discuss the amount of people dying on our rivers. They refuse to have an inquiry into it. We've called on them to have local government elections. They refuse to have local government elections. Ramadan promised local government elections 3 years ago in his election manifesto. He went to Brooklyn, he went to Richmond Hill, and he said, I know I promise, but I don't have a majority. He is holding your constitutional your rights. He's holding your entitlements to ransom because he doesn't have a majority. Well, if he don't have a majority, then what's going to happen after the next election? Because you are going out there in your numbers. Next time, we don't want 175,000, we want 275,000. I tell you why. I tell you why, comrades. And this is not a duck problem either. 120,000 people didn't vote during the last elections, even though they were registered. They didn't know what was coming. But what was coming was the biggest duck curry competition in the whole country. What was coming was licks from the PPP. And we have to put that right. We have to go into every community. Indian communities are crying out to hear from the APNU and AFC. As leader of the PNC, as leader of the APNU, I went into Richmond Hill, I went into Queens, and people want to hear what we have to say because they're fed up with the PPP. We go into Blackbush Polar, we go into Rose Hall, we go into Port Brant, and people want to listen to us because they're fed up with the PPP. The PPP doesn't understand that the ground is moving from under the feet. And they're coming, people are coming over in droves to a partnership for national unity. This is the first time in the history of our country that we have a four-party partnership, a four-party coalition in the National Assembly. Brother Sidney Alicock is not making joke. The people of the Rupununi in Region 9, the people of Region 8, the people of Region 7, the people of Region 2 and Region 1 are suffering. They don't have enough laptops, they don't have enough cash grants, they don't have enough chainsaws, they don't have enough power engines. People want development. They don't want bribes. They don't want beats. They want development. We have in the APNU more Amerindian MPs than any other party. And they don't want these cash grants. What they want is a technical institute. What they want is an agricultural school. What the Amerindian people want is development. We speak to the Indian people. What they want is for Rohit to stop the piracy. What they want is for Rohit to stop the banditry. But all Rohit is concerned with his birth certificate and GCOM. He's not running off. He's not looking after public security. He's not looking after home affairs. Every time you open his mouth, You don't hear anything about piracy or banditry. You already hear about his birth certificate. People all over this country want development, and the PPP is not delivering that development. Comrades, APNU has proposed a government of national unity. This seems like a big pill to swallow, but we have realized that one of the biggest problems in this country is racial division. We have overcome racial division in a partnership for national unity. We have not asked people to give up the race. We have not asked people to give up the religion. We have not asked people to give up the food. What we've asked people to do is come to the bargaining table and discuss. Instead of making every single issue the Battle of Stalingrad, let us sit down like brothers and sisters. Let us sit down like Guyanese and discuss the problems facing us. Under the APNU, there will be no prorogation. Under the APNU, there will be no dictatorship. Under the APNU, we promise you local government elections every 3 years. Under the APNU, we will listen to every single community in this country. We will not diss any community. We will not disparage anybody's race or anybody's religion. And this is what is happening under this government. People are ducking the issues, and we will stop this ducking behavior. So comrades, tonight we have come with a simple David Patterson and Nigel Hughes. I welcome my brother Sidney Alicott from the Guyana Action Party, the biggest region in Guyana and the poorest region in Guyana, the Rupununi. I welcome Brother Rupert Muknoin from the Working People's Alliance. He sits at my left hand on the front bench in the National Assembly. I welcome Brother Skeet Cott from the National Front Alliance. I welcome Brother Basil Williams from the People's National Congress. I welcome all of you, thousands of you. You all have brought this square alive because you want to tell Ramatar that we are fed up with the PPP government. You want to tell Ramatar that the PPP must go. He thinks he's being clever, but I've never seen a clever duck. He thinks he's being smart. But what he is doing is conducting an election campaign, and he wants time to spend money. He wants to avoid the scrutiny of the National Assembly. But we have a big surprise for him. He can duck, but he has to come up here. And whenever he opens the door of the National Assembly, he will see in front of him something called a no confidence motion. And he will see a united opposition. There's no daylight between APNU and AFC on the matter of no confidence. 175,000 voices are raised here tonight. Go, Donald, go! Go out of government! Comrades, you've been here a long time, for 3 hours. Comrades, you've come out because you're concerned about the direction that this country has taken over the last 3 years. You've come out because you don't want this country to continue going down the wrong road. You've come out because you're fed up with the poverty inflicted on you by the PPP. You're fed up with the lies. You're fed up with the deceit. You're fed up with prorogation, comrades. Comrades, we took a long time before we arrived at this no confidence motion. It is not because of one event. It is not because Ashton Singh overspent. It is because of 3 years of mismanagement, 3 years of misdemeanors, 3 years of abusing them from Priya and Anil. And we felt that we can't take anymore. The no confidence motion is something that is well thought out. There's no confidence in Rohi. We brought a motion against him since July 2012. There's no confidence in Anil. There's no confidence in Ashley. There's no confidence in Ifan. We have no confidence in the whole government. So comrades, I want you to understand that this is not a one-issue matter. This is total. We have no confidence at all in the PPP administration. So comrades, tonight is a night for resolution. Tonight is a night of decision. Tonight, as Brother Rupert says, we have come to hear from you what you want us to do. So tell me now, comrades, do you want the no confidence motion to pass? Do you want Parliament to reconvene so we can discuss the no confidence motion? Do you want the PPP to go? Do you want Donald to go? Let's support AFC and the APNU. Let us send the PPP out and let us establish a democracy, a parliamentary democracy in this country. Thank you for coming out tonight, you good people of Guyana. You are the reason we are here. We are here to represent you. And that man has snatched our voices. But we will continue to meet at the square of the revolution. We will continue to... They will bring an end to this dictatorship. And we will establish in Guyana, as soon as the next elections are held, we will establish a true democracy. And your children and grandchildren will be proud of what you're doing here tonight. We stood up to the PPP and we demanded an end to prorogation and an end to dictatorship.